Hey, what's going on, everybody? Aloha. This is Pete here from the Purpose Department podcast, and I've got my son, Jaiden, with me.
What's up, guys?
As you can tell, we're in a bit of a different location. We're not inside, and we are at the Black Sands Beach on the big island of Hawaii.
Yes. Awesome. And today's episode is sponsored by no one. We are going broke.
I'm going broke. We have it's like a Despicable Me.
Yeah.
What do we need? We have no money.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, but we want to welcome you guys. And Jaiden, I mean, this whole trip really is brought to you because of a couple different things. One, Jaiden's getting ready to go to camp.
Go to
with circuit riders and the riders camp. And so I'm getting ready to drop him off actually later today. And we were like, dude, with us being on the big island, like, we got to shoot a podcast.
Yes.
And so here we are on the Black Sands Beach. We've got
pretty.
hundreds of people snorkeling right now. There are some hanus, and for those of you who don't know, that means turtles.
Yes.
And so after we're done with this, we are actually going to go ahead and do some snorkeling
for hours.
Yeah, we're going to do some snorkeling, have some fun, and all that. But as you guys are watching, or if you're listening, want to encourage you once again, hey, hit the subscribe button, give us a follow, leave some comments, different things like that. But man, the island of Hawaii, for those of you maybe who don't know, I was born on Oahu.
Yeah.
So,
But you've never been here.
but I've never been
a
to
really
the
fun
island.
experience.
So yes, Jaiden's been
I
here.
got to go here before he did. So it was really fun, seeing his reaction to some of the different things.
Yeah. And now on the drive down here,
Oh yeah.
we got to see several of the lava flows and the different things like that, and how lava rocks, and
Right.
we're probably gonna go check out the volcano a little bit today before I got to drop them off. We're gonna try and squeeze it all in as much as possible.
All in
but
one day.
we're here, and it's such a miracle, such a blessing, such a great opportunity, and that's why it's so looking forward to this, buddy. So I love you, man, and I'm excited we get to do this.
great.
This is cool.
Yeah. So how would you introduce what our topic is for today's episode?
Well, did you have a question? I know you said you wanted to ask me a question.
Yeah, that is true. I had a couple. Here's the question I'm gonna ask you today. If you could remove one food from just complete existence, but you have to eat this food for a month. So here's what's gonna happen. You can remove a food from existence entirely, but you have to eat this food for a month after you remove it. Only thing that you're gonna be able to eat for a month.
You and these hypothetical deals, you only get to do this, only get to do that. Food that I want to remove.
Yeah.
I like lots of food.
But no, this is a food that you don't like, but you have to remove it.
All right,
Okay.
I found a loophole.
Yeah. Oh, nerd.
So any type of food, right?
Any
Or
kind of
specific
food.
type of
Any kind of food.
flatbread pizzas. That means I can eat the regular other pizzas, but I don't really like flatbread pizza, and I love all the other types of foods, and the types of foods that I don't like, I don't want to have to eat them only for a month. So flatbread pizza. There you go.
So
That's my answer.
Eating flatbread pizza for a month.
For a month, that's fine. And then after that, I don't have to eat flatbread anymore because I don't eat flatbread pizza.
That is awesome.
Now, what about you? What would your answer be? Turn back on you.
Oh man, this never happens.
Dude, I'm all about this black.
No, it's so
Go out there and zoom in on this. Look at this. This is so amazing. We'll throw some footage in and all that other stuff. Video trip. But yeah. All right, so go ahead, man.
But okay, yeah. But dang.
Eat for a month and then never eat again.
Eat for a month, then never eat again. I have to eat this one thing. I would probably say, dang, I don't know. That's hard. You thought of yours pretty quick.
I had to think of a loophole. I'm old.
We're gonna be here for a while.
All right. Well, maybe if you think of it.
No. Yeah,
We'll
I
get
think
going.
of it.
So what do you want to talk about, man?
We're talking about yes. Just 3-letter word, yes. How yes can lead to purpose.
Yes can lead to purpose. Okay. Sounds good. Well, hey, 3-letter. You know what? If you're watching or whatever, hey, put yes in the comment.
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you want to start this?
I'd figure just have you, since you're wiser and you have a lot more years than I do. Probably, what are some things that you've said yes to that just completely changed your life and just different things like that?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there are lots of things I've said yes to, you know.
Yeah. But like big things.
I mean, the big things, those are always easy. I mean, the yeses that I've said that stick out, the big things are always been like the transitions.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we moving from one place to another, or heck, you know, even just 7 years ago, moving from the Midwest and saying yes, and then moving all the way to SoCal.
For marriage,
Yeah, you know, marriage. Well, I was praying your mom said yes. I already had said yes, like, from the very beginning. I fell for your mom pretty quick. So I was just praying that she would say yes. So she did, and here we are, right? I mean, your mom and I, we just celebrated 19 years.
Dang.
So in May, shout out to my babe, I love you. But I mean, yeah, it's. I think it's easy to think about all of the big yeses.
Yeah.
Because they're marked by such prominent changes or transitions or new beginnings and all these different things.
Yeah.
But what about the small ones? You know, the ones that maybe sometimes we take for granted and don't always think about.
Yeah. Wow. Dang. Okay. Yeah. Like probably some of the things that like could be like smaller yeses that.
Yeah. I mean, here's a big one, right? I mean, we're here on the Big Island today.
Yeah.
You're helping fill up a tank for me, like being able to be here on the islands. I love the islands. You know, our whole Ohana loves Hawaii and different things like that. And so, but what led us to here? What got us to this? That you and I literally today are sitting at Black Sands Beach on the Big Island, and now we're shooting a podcast.
Probably, you know, it was around a year ago today that I got on a plane. Probably, actually, yeah, no. So it was about a year ago today that I got on a plane 3 hours ago, and then arrived at like 2 here.
Yeah.
So probably that was one of the first times I was like, yes, sure, I'll go to Kona. Why not? I'll go to YWAM. I'll see what it's all about.
Go to a 10-day camp.
Go to a 10-day camp all by myself. Yeah. Why not? No, but I was like thinking, I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be fun. And then I thought of it some more, and I was like, you know what? Maybe if I go again next year. And I thought about it some more, and I'm like, nah, I went once. It's not. And then my mom was like, hey, I signed you up again. And I'm like, oh, I don't really have a choice to say yes, but yeah, sure, let's go again.
Right.
And then you said that you were going, and I'm like, awesome. It's going to be a new experience.
Yeah, because you were going, and your mom was like, hey, you know what? Last year, I dropped you off. And then this time, right now, we're going and doing our, hello. Right, so this time, I dropped you off at the airport last year, and then it was like, hey, it's not too, like, everything's expensive nowadays, but this was a cool opportunity even for me to just say, you know what, hey, I'm going to fly with you this time.
Yeah.
Get a car, rent a place for a couple days, stay out here with you for a couple days, and then I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
But those little yeses kind of lead to these great opportunities and these great moments.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, in a lot of ways, you know, we've been talking about purpose and gotten to hear some cool stories. I know last week we got to hear from our friend, Pastor Joe Pringle. Such a great one. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, really want to encourage you to do that. But, you know, with each of these yeses that we make, I think that's where I think about it with purpose. Like all of the purpose and stuff. I love it. All of the purpose and stuff comes because of a yes. Yeah. It happens because of a yes. Like, you could have been like at 13 years old, like, oh, wow, this is really awesome. I get to go to Hawaii. But I knew you were also kind of a little timid and like unsure, uneasy.
Like, I was like, it's going to be great to like go away and like experience what it's like to be away from my family just as like an experience thing. Be like, okay, this is what it's like.
Yeah.
But then also, I think it was just also like, wow, I'm going to be away from my family for 10 days. It's kind of crazy. But then I did it, and I was like, that's really fun. I want to go again. Because it's a joyous experience.
Yeah.
It's how you learn how to say yes to different things because we also did like cliff jumping.
Okay.
I hate heights.
Yeah. I know you do.
Absolutely terrible.
I'm sorry. I don't think we passed. I mean, we passed down things, but you definitely got that from me.
I got that
I can't
from
stand
you.
heights either.
Yeah, I know, but I was terrified of heights. So then they're like, "Hey, look, watch, we're gonna go cliff jumping," because the one beach that we went to had cliffs. So I'm like, and everyone's like, "Come on, come on," and I'm like, "Fine, yes, let's go." And then I got to experience one of the most fun things that I've ever got to do with the ocean. Like,
Yeah.
it's small things like that that we take for granted because now I'm not scared to do things like that as much.
Yeah. Now, what do you think? Taking advantage of the opportunity. That's where, like, even for your mom and I, we were talking, and she was like, "You need to go.
Yeah.
You got to go, even if it's for a couple days." And part of my own flesh was like, "But man, I don't get to take the rest of my family. I'd love to have your mom here. I'd love to have Blakely here. I'd love to have Makai here." But then the reality of it sank in. It was like, "No, Pete, this is just a trip for you. So, like, after I drop you off, I'm gonna kind of see where I end up a little bit for the next
Go
day
do
or
your
two."
own thing.
But just excited for what's coming. But these yeses, right?
Yeah.
They lead to purpose. They lead to the next. They lead to growth. They lead to confidence. What causes us sometimes, or what do you think, maybe for your age and for some of your peers and different things like that, what causes you guys to maybe be a little apprehensive or a little timid or fearful about saying yes?
Some people, I don't speak for my generation. I don't speak for people that are my age.
Or even just for you, like, why does it go for you?
For me, probably, I would say it's probably just fear of the unknown. I'm like, I love the unknown. But whenever it's something that's like, this is a big, big thing, it's a big commitment, you're going to have to start just doing this. And I'm just going to be like, I don't know about that.
Give me an example. Thinking of.
Like going to Hawaii is like the big example by myself.
Okay.
I didn't think that it was going to be as fun as it was. I didn't think it was going to be, I don't know. I was scared.
Yeah.
To put it like simply. I was like, this is going to be great. Also, like, I'm terrified.
Yeah. What about so even this school year, right?
Yeah.
You've had to.
I always say yes to the.
You came back from Lighters Camp last year, and you're like, "Mom, Dad, I'm going to start this Jesus Club, and I know there's probably going to be some hard things that I'll need to figure out, but I'm ready to do it."
Yeah.
You know, what went through your mind, and even in getting to that point where you said yes? Like, what stirred in your heart that caused you to make that shift?
I saw it, so whenever they were, like, doing their presentation on it, I'm like, this is kind of cool. I'm like, I might not do it because, I don't know, I just don't want to get, like, judged by all my other classmates. And then I started doing it, and I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm like, let's just go. I think that after the camp, something, like, grew inside of me. It's like, it was like a God just giving me the the bravery to say, hey, go do that, go try it. And it's kind of like a parent, like, going letting their kid doing something stupid, like, hey, don't touch that power outlet, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And then they don't listen, they touch it, and you're like, well, you learned your lesson, right?
Yeah.
So I think that that's kind of why I've started saying yes more. It's like, well, if I do something stupid, I'm gonna learn from it. I'm going to learn not to do it again.
Yeah. So I think it's funny, or not funny, but it's really cool when you look at the scriptures in Proverbs 16, I think it's 24, where it talks about how the Lord God creates everything for his unique purpose.
Yeah.
And I don't think that purpose is always defined by one particular thing, but it's almost like a framework where then it allows you, because you have the right structure and you have the right framework, you're then able to go ahead and do a multitude of things. You know, because I know even for me this year, right, we're 7 months in, 7.5 months in, and it's been a lot of different small yeses for me. And it's brought on growth, it's brought on the challenges, it's brought on all these different things. But those small yeses lead to a purpose, a small purpose, a bigger thing, you know, all the different stuff there. And so, you know, I've definitely had my own fears.
Yeah.
My own stuff that I've dealt with in that. So for you, right, you were talking about it would be fear of You know, just being afraid or the unknown.
Yeah, the unknown.
I think for me, as your dad, as an adult, some of the fears and the things that I wrestle with, you come with the things that happen when you're adulting.
Yeah.
You know, I've had to worry, and in some ways I've struggled worrying with like financial stuff. I've struggled worrying about, you know, with these yeses that I've said, where's the next opportunity going to happen?
Yeah.
Like, who's another client that I'll get to have? Like, and I don't, like, for our business, we have clients, but they're more than just clients. Like, we want to partner. We want to partner. You know, we want to help build a vision. We want to help make something become a reality.
Yeah, and kind of like what some churches say, like they want to do life.
Like, do life, right?
Them. Yeah.
You know, but it's more than just a transactional thing. Yeah. But in that same way, these yeses, I've still had to navigate the insecurities and different things that come because I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, but I do know that, one, because I'm saying yes, I'm saying yes to something that's bigger than myself. I even get to the point now where I look at a deficit, or I look at a struggle, or I look at a challenge that's coming, and I laugh. And I laugh not because I'm at such a point right now where I feel I ask God to give me peace. And what it does is it helps give me, it brings me a little bit of laughter, because I know the only way that this is going to work out, or the only way that I'm going to continue to make it to the other side or to progress and keep moving forward because of my yes, is because God is going to show himself and be faithful in the little things, right? He's going to be faithful in those small things and those small decisions and those small yeses where I'm just trusting and saying, yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and, reach out to somebody that I just met, and then have a full-blown conversation, ask them some questions, you know, and kind of work that out. You know, what are some of the things that you feel like right now in your life where you're working on this muscle, or developing this muscle to say yes to things, especially to God and different stuff like that?
Probably to, I like committing to certain things, but I probably need to figure out how to just say yes and then stick to it.
Okay.
Because I'm usually like all over the place.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes to like projects, and then with God, it's like, yes, sure, I'm gonna read my Bible, and then I read it like for a week, and then stop for a month, and it's just need to figure out how to say yes and then stick with my yes. I need to just build my because it's very easy to say yes to other things. But I don't know, I find it harder to say yes to, like, hey, go read your Bible for an hour.
Okay.
Or I find it harder to say yes to just, hey, go just spend some time by yourself for an hour. Like, I need to grow in that area of my faith and of just my spiritual.
So you're talking about more along the lines of yes to your disciplines?
Yes to discipline.
Okay. Yeah, there's always a cost, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to having to develop your disciplines, there comes a cost to growth, you know, and different things like that. So I get that. I like this. This is cool. Yeah. So what questions do you have?
Probably, what's a piece of advice that you have to someone who's, like, wanting to say yes more, but who's struggling to?
Wanting to say yes more, but struggling? I think, one, I would look inside of yourself first, kind of do an examination, and figure out what are the expectations that you have for yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you're dealing with insecurity, or wrestling with that unknown, there are some internal things that need to be worked out, that need to be processed through. And for me, when I stepped out and said yes to God and stepped out of full-time ministry, there was some personal things that I had to wrestle with and really come to grips with. And then I asked myself, well, what are the expectations that I have? You know, what are the expectations that I'm putting on others to meet for me? what expectations was I putting on the church, or what expectations was I putting on my job title, right? Or the definition of what I thought was work for me, right? What were those types of expectations that I had? And then I had to come to grips with it and allow God to do some personal things in my life so that I can get to the point where it was like, I knew that it wasn't just the title or the job that defined me. And now I can go out and say yes because I did know that with my yes, there was going to be new relationships. I did know with my yes, there was going to be some new opportunities. I did know with my yes that I was going to grow, and not just grow one-dimensionally, but I've grown mentally, I've grown physically, I've grown in different skill sets.
Yeah.
You know, I've grown in being able to walk into situations and see things differently and have a different perspective, and also listen better because I'm putting other people first, right? I'm asking God to lead my steps and to help me with evil every single day. So I think those would be the things. Look what's inside yourself. Determine what are the expectations that you have. And really have a heart-to-heart with that. And like I think I mentioned before to you, like write them out, whether if it's on your phone, if it's in a journal, but write out the process. And it's cool to be able to then really backtrack and see that with all of these small yeses and all of these small chances and taking advantage of opportunities, how it leads you to today.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would say.
Well, that's really good.
This water is amazing. I'm sorry that we've tempted you guys this whole entire time. If you've never been to the islands, you gotta go.
I was playing with the sand the entire time. It was just like so relaxing.
Yeah, this black sand is really gorgeous. I want to bring shout out to Blakely, because I actually had forgotten about this being on the Big Island until I talked with her the other day, and she was like, "Dad, you need to go." And I was like, "Go to what?" She's like, "The black sands." I'm like, "Oh." I was like, "Let me give you a big hug." So I love you, B. Let's know. Yeah, man.
I like this episode.
It's cool.
One thing. All right. This is the Purpose Department. Whichever episode this was, let's call this one the Hawaii episode.
The Aloha episode, the Aloha vibe. So, shock us to all of you.
And peace out.